Hey everybody, we're going to be doing a how to ride a motorcycle video, and then we're going to be taking this motorcycle out on the streets, and then we're going to be taking it over here on the high-speed freeways. So what you're going to see in this video, I've never done it before, but I'm going to try to take you from, if you were a beginner, then to an intermediate, then to an expert, and we'll take you out on the freeways. So we're going to go through all those different stages of riding a motorcycle. Now, our motorcycle of choice today is the Suzuki Katana 600, which is very well suited for the freeways that we're about to get on. So here's what we're going to do. I have this camera, it's a Kodak V570, and notice on the inside of my visor in front of my mouth there's these Velcro strips. Now I'm going to show you the camera. The camera has Velcro strips on the front. So when I'm going to put the camera in the helmet with me right in front of my mouth, and that way you can hear me when we're on the freeway, and we're going to film this while riding the motorcycle in first person. So here goes. There's the camera. It is ultra wide angle lens. So what you're going to notice, it looks better than most of the motorcycle cameras out there, and then it has image stabilization, so you're going to find when I move left to right it's very smooth. It's not all jittery. Now before we start, let's start off real quick. We're going to spend about a minute or two on what all the levers do and what all the gauges do, etc. Most of the time on Japanese bikes, traditionally the front side, it has to do with braking. So if you're sitting on it, the front right side has to do with braking. Front brake right here, squeeze the lever, brake goes on. Simple enough. There's the rear brake. You just put your foot right here, we sort of like this to be more accurate, and you push down with your toe and it brakes. Now let's go on to the other side. The left side, when you're sitting on a motorcycle, tends to do with shifting in the gears. This is the clutch lever. Just like how when you're driving a stick shift car, you shift with your left hand, and then you shift with your left hand here, but in a car, you put your left foot in on the clutch, don't you? And then you shift with your right hand. Here what you're going to do is you're going to pull the clutch lever in, and you're going to shift with this gear shift lever here. So here's what I'm going to do for you right now. I have written this little, drew this little paper up here that I think will help you a lot. This is the gear shift lever. You're going to be putting your foot under it, under the lever, and also on top of it. When you want to shift down, you're going to have your foot on top and you're going to be kicking down. When you want to shift upward into the higher gears, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, you're going to be kicking up. Simple enough, right? Well, some people don't understand that. They're like, well, how could that work if it's just one lever? You know, how do you know where to kick it and all that? Well, I made this little chart for you here. Check it out. Notice on the bottom is first gear, then neutral, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, right? And notice these arrows. You're always going, it's like a ladder. You're always shifting up and down a ladder as you're driving. So I want you to pretend you're in first gear right now, okay? If you were to just kick up, normally, like where you feel metal, you'll go into second. But what's interesting is if you slightly kick, just like a little tap, not with as much force, but just like a little tap, it actually goes into neutral, and I'll show you that while we're riding, how to do it. Now, as you're shifting, you're also taking your hand off the throttle, and you're also pulling in the clutch lever. So let's show you this, what we're talking about. Let me get on the motorcycle. We're not going to start it yet so you can hear me better, okay? Here's what you're doing. I want you to imagine you're riding along and you're in third gear and you want to shift up to fourth. Remember, this is the throttle, this is the clutch lever, and down here is the shift lever. Remember the ladder I told you. So let's say you're riding along and you want to shift up to, let's say, fourth gear. Here's what you're going to do. You're going along, and I'm going to show this to you in real life when we get out there, but you're going to release the throttle, and that's like spring loaded. It'll basically take off the throttle, it'll basically allow you to shift gears. So you're just going to kind of loosen your hand. You're going to get off the throttle. And all this happens within like a second or two. So you do it real fast. It's like that, right? You release the throttle. Remember, you're going up to fourth. You pull the clutch lever in right here, but you're going to hold the clutch lever in. You're not going to release it until you're in gear. Then down here, you're going to put your foot under the peg. You're going to kick up on the gear shift lever. You're going to kick up on the gear shift lever. Then and only then are you going to release this clutch lever. You're going to roll back smoothly on the throttle. Now you're in fourth, right? Now you're speeding up even more. You want to go into fifth. What do? It's the same sequence, guys. Even to downshift, it's the same way. I'll show you. But first, let's get up to fifth. You're going along. You're going to release the throttle, clutch lever in. You're going to kick up to fifth down here, release the clutch lever, roll back onto throttle. Now you want to go ahead and you want to shift down to third gear, but you're in fifth, right? Here's what I do. Release the clutch lever in, kick down now. I'm in fifth, right? Kick down to fourth. I'm going to pass through fourth gear on my way to third. Kick down to fourth, release the clutch lever, and I don't want to roll back on the throttle because I want to slow down, right? So I just kind of leave the throttle be. Now I'm in fourth gear. I want to go to third. What do? Clutch lever in, kick down to third, release the clutch lever. Now I can do this shifting downward all the way down into neutral. I'll even tap down into neutral, right? So let's start this puppy. And we're going to progress from the parking lot. We'll only spend a few moments in the parking lot. What I'm going to do to start is pull the clutch lever in and then press the start key here. But we're going to start in the parking lot, go onto the streets, and then the freeways. Clutch lever in, start button right here. So we've started it. We've started the beast. Now, this is not a good motorcycle to practice on if you're new because it's a very heavy motorcycle. It's a 600, so it's got power, but nothing that you'll get in trouble with. You could control it. What we're going to do is you see these lines in the parking lot painted. I'm going to show you how you first, when you're new, we're going to go to beginners and intermediate. First, when you're new, you're going to just move the bike a bit, get used to it, engaging into gear, and then we'll start riding. So we have the D&D exhaust from our wonderful friends at Fort Worth, Texas. I know everyone on YouTube always does this, so why don't I join in the fun? We're going to give it a few revs. Hopefully people will hear this when I'm on the freeway. I'm going to put the kickstand up. Here's what you do when you're new. Clutch lever in. Notice the neutral light's on right here. Clutch lever in. Kick down to first. Neutral light's off. If I were to release the clutch lever, it'd probably just stall because I'm not giving any gas. So here's what you're going to do. See the painting on the lines right here on the street, the parking lot? Slowly release the clutch lever and then pull it right back in. Notice I'm moving here. Slowly release, pull it right back in. Do that a few times, right? Once you've done that, and then watch the neutral light here. Slightly kick up to neutral. See, I'm in neutral. Get used to that. Now, sometimes neutral's a little hard to get into on some bikes. I had a Ninja 250. Dang, it was kind of hard to get into that. Now, they've made the new Kawasaki Ninja 250s with a neutral finder where it makes it real easy to get into neutral. But here we go. Now we're going to shift into gear. Clutch in, kick down to first. We're going to start moving. Now there's no one around here except this guy that I'm going to move towards. Slowly release the clutch lever while giving a little bit of throttle till you've released the clutch lever. Look, all the way. Let's not go this way so I don't scare the guy. You kind of drive around, and now we're going to practice braking. Watch, clutch lever in. You start braking, you're going to want your left foot to go down here. My left foot's leaning. You do that a few times. Now we're going to go into second in the parking lot. Then we'll go on the streets, then we'll go freeways and really have some fun. Okay, first gear, right? Remember what I told you? Release the throttle, clutch lever in, kick up to second, release the clutch, roll back on the throttle. I'm in second. Slightly kick down from second. Look, the neutral light goes on. See how you can do it from second also. Let's just go out onto the street. Okay, I'm in first. You get to a little hill like this, you can just kind of keep both your feet down. Okay, no one's coming. Slowly let the clutch out as I'm giving it throttle. When you're new, make sure you have a lot of distance between yourself. Now I'm in first, right? What I'll do, although this light's probably going to turn green, what I'll do, watch, clutch lever and slightly kick up to neutral, and I'll just kind of coast sometimes. You see. Get to the light. I don't even have to put the brakes on. I just kind of, well, let me back up a bit so this bus doesn't clip me. This bus has a wide... There he goes. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to go through this light, and sometimes you get these lights where you have to wait out in the middle of the intersection before you go. So I'll kind of show you what I do. Clutch lever in, kick down to first, slowly release the throttle. Notice there's oncoming traffic. So I'll kind of stay like this, look to the left, no one's coming. Okay, we're in first. Here we go, watch. Release throttle, clutch lever and kick up to second. Release the clutch lever, roll back onto throttle. See how we always do that? We're in second, right? Release throttle, clutch lever in, kick up to third. Release clutch lever, roll back onto throttle smoothly. Now I'm explaining it, but I actually do it a lot faster than that. It's just that I'm showing you how to do it, so I'm kind of doing it slow. But usually, watch how fast it is, watch. When I say now, we'll start timing it. Now, there I'm in. See, I'm already in gear. That's how fast it is. Now, this is great. We got a red light, watch. Clutch lever in, kick down, slowly let clutch out. See, not even braking. Clutch lever in, kick down, slowly let the clutch out. See how that helps to slow the engine. Clutch lever in, notice I'm in neutral, kind of just coasting. Back to first I go. Now we're going to get on the freeway. Clutch lever in, first I'm going to release throttle, clutch lever in, kick up to second, release the clutch lever, I'm in second now, I'm moping along. So streets is sort of like intermediate level. We'll take you to the freeways now, advance. Clutch lever in, kick down. Notice I'm in neutral. See the neutral light? So I'm going to kind of wait here. Here's our freeway on-ramp. There goes. In first. Release throttle, clutch lever in, kick up to second. Now, let's just go through it quickly. Third. See how I'm doing that? Fourth. Fifth. 6 gears we have. So I am now in 6th gear. In California they let me go in the HOV lane, which is cool. We have a lot of winds, Santa Ana winds today. I can already tell when I get on the freeway it's real windy. Now, notice now you just kind of kick back and enjoy the ride. Pretty easy. Notice the freeway is a lot easier than riding around on the street. You don't do anything. Get better fuel economy too. Can you guys see this sign right here? Look what it says on the top right above where that semi says gusty winds ahead. I don't know if you can see it if the camera picks that up. So we'll give you a little training in real life. We're going to be going through the gusty winds on how to handle gusty winds. You know, sometimes the sign says strong winds, and I notice when it says strong winds it's worse than the gusty winds. So let me give you some advice, and I'm also going to tell you how to get your motorcycle license very quickly. But let me give you some advice on how to go through the strong winds. And this is based on experience. I've gone through them. Terrifying winds. You see that motorcycle guy coming towards us? He was giving me the they'll wave like this down low with the peace sign, but I was so engrossed talking to you. This guy probably thinks I'm a jerk, I didn't even wave. What'll happen when you're riding in the strong wind as a new rider, you'll get a very strong gust of wind, let's say from your left side. And what that'll make you do, it makes you want to lean into it, you know. And but then the wind will give, like it'll quit blowing, and since you're leaning like this to the left, that makes you kind of move into the left where you're going to hit the wall. So the wind plays tricks on you like that, where you're always moving left and right around the freeway fighting it. But I learned some techniques. I went on the internet and I typed this in, like, how do I fight the wind? And here's how you do it. Let's say you're riding along. First I'll show you how a new rider would do it, then I'm going to show you how you'll do it since you're learning this. Let's say you're riding along and all of a sudden the wind starts gusting real strong from your left. Since it shocks you, you're like, whoa! The tendency for a motorcycle rider is to grab onto the handlebars and hold on very tight for dear life. Because it's pretty scary. You got these strong winds coming towards you. It even reels your body back, so you think, well, I gotta hold on tighter. But you don't want to do that. When you hold on tight with a death grip to the handlebars, here's what happens. Imagine you're holding on with a death grip, your arms are all stiff, and by the way, let's get in front of this guy here. Now he moves, see? My luck. I was just going to get in the right lane. So you're holding on with the death grip, the strong wind comes. What's going to happen is it's going to move you to the left lane or the right lane because your arms are so rigid that when the wind hits you, it's like moves you. So what you want to do is you want your arms to be like shock absorbers. When the wind comes, look at my right arm, you kind of want it to kind of flex with the wind. Don't hold the death grip on the handlebars. Hold the grip, you know, tight enough where you're not going to accidentally let go, but hold as light as grip as possible, but where you're not going to let go. So when the winds come, your hands are your arms and hands are moving around the motorcycle handlebars without moving the motorcycle handlebars. If you have a death grip, what's going to happen is it's going to move the motorcycle handlebars. We're going to also show you some counter steering. But before we do this, let's talk to you about how to get your motorcycle license. It's very windy, so my allergies are acting up. And we have a freeway coming up here. We're going to get on the right, so I'm going to show you some counter steering. First, let me tell you about that, and then while we're waiting to come up to that part, I'll tell you about the motorcycle license. Counter steering is where you turn the handlebars in the opposite direction you want to go. So in other words, if you want to go right, which is what we're going to do in a moment, I'm going to move this handlebar forward in front of me, like apply pressure, but this handlebar is going to move back towards my rib cage. And when I do that, watch, I'll do it right now. Watch how I go to the right. See how it kind of moves the bike to the right like that. So we have a turn coming up here where I'm going to do counter steering. But I want to get some distance between me and these vehicles because I want to approach it at a higher clip of speed. And here comes our corner here, so let's slow down a bit so I can speed up and have distance. You want to get your motorcycle license, go to Department of Motor Vehicles first and tell them you want to take the exam, the written exam. Okay, here we go. Once you've passed the written exam, slowing down a bit here because our corner is going to go to the right, you can now ride on the streets in the daytime only. But that's enough to let you practice, see? You don't need... Okay, here we go. So we're going to go to the right. I'll stay on the left edge and I'll cut on the way in, but watch how you do this. We're going to do some counter steering here. pulling back towards me on this handlebar this way, you just hold the pressure there, and that'll lean around the corner like skiing, or if you're skateboarding. You're gonna get all the way in the left lane. And then we have another freeway on-ramp up here where the counter steering will be at, I promise you, a higher clip of speed. Big giant on-ramp going to the stars coming up here. But once you pass your written exam at DMV, they'll actually let you ride in the daytime. You won't be able to do what I'm doing until you get your driving test. You also got to take a driving test where you get on the motorcycle and they test you. But if you take the written test, they'll let you ride in the daytime, and you can't ride at night, but on the daytime, and you can go in the streets and everything. And that'll be good enough to let you practice in the meantime if you want to learn how to ride. And even if you get pulled over, you won't get a ticket because you have your license to where you're allowed to ride on the street. Just stay off the freeways and don't ride at night. And by the way, here comes our other on-ramp to the left. And I promised you that we were going to take it fast, so about another minute we're going to take it. Stay back a bit. Then I would suggest go to MSF class. MSF is Motorcycle Safety Foundation. I'm going to sneeze. Man, the wind's blowing around. Got a full face helmet, but the wind comes up underneath the helmet. This is going to be good. This is going to be good. We're taking it at a good clip of speed here. Go to Motorcycle Safety Foundation. You can take the riding test there. It's a little easier there. Now, we're going left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this handlebar back towards me and move this one forward. Here we go. Tucking down. Now notice I need to stop, right? Let's say I need to slow down. Well, I could downshift if I need to, but notice I don't need to. I just take my hand off the throttle, and that helps to slow up the bike. Now I want to show you something else. Notice I'm on a 600 motorcycle. It's not the most powerful motorcycle in the world, but it's not weak either. It's the perfect balance for fuel economy and power. And if I want to speed up, I have power on tap. Now notice I'm in 6th gear, giving it some throttle. Notice. Pretty good. That wasn't even full throttle, of course. You're going to be going freeways. You're going to want something with power. Now, once you go to MSF course and you take the class, they'll charge you a small fee. But if you've never ridden a motorcycle, then I strongly suggest you go there. Don't worry, you're not going to be riding out on the freeways and the streets. You'll just be riding in the parking lot. And you'll pass. You'll pass it. But see, let me tell you a little secret. The driving test at Department of Motor Vehicles, there's a high rate of failure with that test. A lot of people fail it. For example, you have to do this like figure 8, very slow, and if you go outside the lines, or like you put your foot down, automatic fail. But if you go to MSF class, even if you were to fail it, they'll let you try again. You don't have to pay. But I want to tell you something. There was about 30 people in our class, if memory serves me correctly. 2 failed. One guy failed, and there was this lady that failed. But everyone else passed. But these people that failed, they really should have failed. I was watching them on the course. I go, man, these people, they're going to get themselves killed. You know, if you've ridden a stick shift car, then you're going to have a lot easier time riding a motorcycle if you've driven a stick shift car. Because if you've never learned how to drive a stick shift car, and you're going to, it's easier to, well, let me finish my sentence. And you're going to try to drive a motorcycle, that is a lot more challenging to drive a motorcycle than it is a stick shift car. But if you drive a stick shift car, and you know how to shift the gears, and you finally learn there, it's going to be like 90% easier to ride a motorcycle, because now you have all that in your subconscious mind. The 2 people that failed at the MSF course, they had never driven a stick shift car. So here they're learning how to shift gears on a motorcycle, plus you gotta balance at slow speeds, plus you gotta remember when to pull the clutch in, the throttle, all that. You know, no wonder they failed. It's challenging if you've never driven a stick shift car. Now, before you go to MSF, if you have a friend that'll let you use their motorcycle, see if they'll let you learn on theirs. But if not, see if you have someone that will let you use a stick shift car. Believe it or not, that'll help a lot. Now, before we end the video, I want to tell you guys, you might see a motorcycle helmet icon on the video. Click that motorcycle helmet icon and subscribe to that channel. We have other motorcycle videos there, gaming videos, etc. And don't forget to go to the website that you see below here so you can learn to ride like I do. I always ride with the full armor. I wouldn't throw my leg over a motorcycle. I wouldn't even mount the steel horse unless I had on the full armor. Always ride with the full armor. You guys have a great week, and thanks for watching.